Now, from 41 Action Sports, here's Monday Morning Quarterback, sponsored by TDR Auto Plaza, changing the way used cars are sold. Located on I-35 in Kearney, Missouri.
Well, we thought we'd hit rock bottom last week at the loss to the Giants. Maybe there's a level below that. Hello and welcome to Monday Morning Quarterback. I'm Mick Schaefer, joined by our illustrious guests here, Soren Petro, Sports Radio 810. How are you, Soren?
I'm doing well. Buddy Bell said it, that you can always get worse.
You can always get worse, right? Mm-hmm. Never say rock bottom. Terez Paylor of the Kansas City Star. What's going on, Terez?
Hey, man, I'm glad to be back in the mix, dissect the Chiefs' latest loss, becoming all too familiar.
Yeah, it is, especially the last 6 games, 5 times. Blair Kirchhoff, also from the Kansas City Star.
Did yesterday really happen? It's hard to believe that happened.
Feels kind of like a fever dream, does it not? A little bit. Chiefs losers to the Bills, 16-10. Soren make that 19 points in their last 2+ games over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, look, the offense is falling off a cliff. I mean, I think we all felt like even at 5-0 when they were the number 1, 2, 3 offense in the NFL, that wasn't going to last. But I don't think anybody saw them just completely falling apart. And that's what's happened. Complete inability to run the football. That's a big part of the problem. The offensive line is not playing well, although I don't think playing as bad as everybody wants to hang everything on the offensive line. It's not all the offensive line. It's not all the receivers. It's not all Andy Reid play calling. And it's certainly not all Alex Smith. But every single one of those things I just mentioned needs to be questioned and looked at as a way to get better. They are not a good football team. It's as simple as that. And until they embrace the fact that they're not a good football team, it's not going to be better. And it's clear that they didn't embrace it after the Giant loss because they looked exactly the same. Yeah.
What was it, Terez, a 7-8 quarter span between touchdowns? It was the Tyreek Hill one, right, in the Cowboys game. And then finally Albert Wilson gets in the end zone yesterday. They were going to have to start doing like coordinated field goal dances and everything after Butker made it. They go out and play the duck, duck, deuce out there on the 30-yard line, right?
Yeah, the offensive MVP so far, yeah. Harrison Butker. Look, the bottom line is that this is on Andy Reid to fix. You know, he doesn't throw his players under the bus, which is a smart thing to do. But after every loss, he says, hey, it's on me. So it is on him. He's got to fix this. He's the one calling the plays. He's the one scheming it up. He's the one installing the plays along with Matt Nagy. Like, this is on Andy to fix. The offense is the problem right now, not the defense. They've played well enough to win the last 2 weeks, and the offense has just been terrible. It's on Andy, by the way, to help get Alex in the mix. Alex has been bad the last 2 weeks, but he's the one that works with the quarterback. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done on offense for the Chiefs, and it starts with the coach, Andy Reid. Blair,
is that him really taking responsibility, though, just saying, hey, it's on me, and then just moving on? Because we hear it every single week. Does somebody maybe need to be thrown under the bus? Get some sort of public reprimand or responsibility, accountability out there?
Well, I certainly would like to hear more in a post-game press conference than what we get from Andy Reid. Just some emotion, just give us more,
want that, right? They want the anger. They want a table broken. They want to see something, right? Because that's what they're feeling.
I do have to correct you, though. You said the last touchdown was the Hail Mary. It wasn't, actually. It was the potato sack race celebration on the Kelsey touchdown.
Okay, sorry, I forgot about that. So it was the second half. So it was only like was it a 7-quarter span?
Right.
Yeah.
So potato sack race curse, I think, for the Chiefs. Problems are many. They're across the board. Defense has played well the last couple weeks. I'll give them that, and played well enough to win either one of those 2 games. It is a little bit of everything. I think back to yesterday's game, and what was Travis Kelce doing at quarterback again, taking the snap? What was that? And so many bad plays. How about Albert Wilson? Great to see him back, by the way. And Tyreek Hill ended up in the same spot for a screen pass in the first quarter.
Seen that.
What was that? And why did Alex throw it at that when he saw those 2 guys there?
Because let's be honest, Alex Smith has one place he's going with the football. And he's either going to go there with it, whether it's a good or bad idea, and that's why the interception happened on that last play, because there were other receivers, which even the CBS network was able to show you the All-22 and give you other guys that were open, even Albert Wilson waving his arms before the snap. He obviously identified it was his own, that he was going to be there, and yet Alex Smith went with the one place he's going with the football, because he's a pre-programmed robot, and that's how Andy Reid likes it. And that's part of the problem. Look, listen, Alex Smith is not the only problem, but he's clearly not the solution either. And that's why every aspect of this team has to be questioned, and that includes the quarterback spot. And I'll go you a step further, Blair. Look, they're going to go to New York, all right? A Jet team that showed some fight today, or yesterday, excuse me, in their game against the superior Carolina Panther team. And if they lose that game, even if they win the game in ugly fashion, how do you think Arrowhead's going to look? They were down a score at home in Arrowhead, leading the AFC West, and it was more than half empty for that final drive for the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think is going to be there those last 3 home games in bad December weather? Maybe, I don't know, with global warming it might be 70 again. But who's going to be in the stadium, and at what point does that matter that there's complete and total fan apathy taking over this organization?
I know one way to get fans in the stadium. You know, Therese.
I'll also say this. I think one thing you have to consider, I think Andy Reid's offense actually best works when he doesn't necessarily just have a pre-programmed rollout, when he has somebody with some creativity back there and a playmaking instinct and knack.
Who's that guy?
I actually think that's one of the things that intrigued them about Patrick Mahomes. And the thing is, we just don't know if he's ready to play. He hasn't been he hasn't been getting first-string reps. That's been Alex, and I think it's going to be Alex's job for the foreseeable future, just barring just more horrific performances. But again, the history with Alex and Andy together has shown that it doesn't last much longer than how it's already gone.
All right, so we'll end it here. We'll start with you, Soren. The 2 questions everybody's going to be asking this week. Is it Mahomes time? And do the Chiefs, are they going to make the playoffs here? And are those 2 questions, the answers related, I guess? If the answer is no for the playoffs, does that make it Mahomes time? And kind of vice versa. I'll let you go first.
I don't think they are. Listen, if the Chiefs personnel department knows what they're doing and Andy Reid is worth the money they're paying him, then there should be no fear of Patrick Mahomes looking like, one of the boob quarterbacks that you've seen out there. You should expect him to look more like Dak Prescott or Deshaun Watson. Otherwise, somebody in another department needs to be fired. One of those other people need to go for making the decision to move up and go get Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think, your only chance in the playoffs is Alex Smith. And I also don't think your only chance in the playoffs is Patrick Mahomes. So it's on Andy Reid to make the right call here. When do you do it? I think now once you've gone with Alex Smith to start the season, I think you got to stay with him till you either fall back to 500 or you lose first place. And I'll say even a first place tie. Yeah. If they're tied with the Chargers after the next week with the Jets, then I think that's your time. They'll be 500. The Chargers will be looking over their shoulder. Or if they just lose and are still up a game, I think that's when you make the move. You've seen enough, and it's time to go in another direction.
All right, Mahomes, playoffs, yes or no on both? Therese.
I'll say this. I think, remember, 2015, the Chiefs went 1-5 to open the year. And in the last 6 games, the Chiefs have gone 1-5. Alex pulled himself back from that in 2015. I think he deserves a chance to show he can do the same. So, no, this is not Mahomes' time, but this is the right time to at least have the conversation.
Yep.
I do think this team will make the playoffs. I think, again, Andy Reid's history shows that, they find a way to make it through adversity. But, yeah, we're getting to the point where some very difficult questions need to be asked and considered and weighed.
Blair, you say no to the playoffs, huh?
I did, yeah. I'm standing by that. I think the Chargers and the Raiders are both just playing better football than the Chiefs right now. They both come to Arrowhead in a couple of weeks, and I think that if the Chiefs slump continues, then it's over. So Mahomes, that's how you fill the stadium. You announce Patrick Mahomes as a starter on Monday, not for an away game, but for a home game. You'll see 80,000 people at Arrowhead for that game.
All right, sounds great, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Blair Kerkhoff, Therese Paylor, and Soren Petro. This has been your Monday Morning Quarterback.
This has been Monday Morning Quarterback, sponsored by TDR Auto Plaza, changing the way used cars are sold. Located on I-35 in Kearney, Missouri.